Welcome to the Buy Box Bandits podcast.
Buy Box Bandit podcast. How's everyone doing? Thanks for being here with us. Merry Christmas if you celebrated, and Happy New Year coming up in the next few days. If you're looking to get started on Amazon or looking to scale and really start making some money, thousands a month, this will be a super valuable episode for you because we have a person who just a few months ago was getting started, Tyler here, otherwise known as Emma and Hala on socials, and now has already hit like 70 or 80 grand in sales here.
Yeah, 76,000, I think.
Amazing. And that's literally just been gotten started, I think, in August or September. So really, proof of concept, making some real money. It's probably at least like 20K profit, maybe even more in just a few months on a brand new business, a brand new thing, which is incredibly powerful. And I know some people listening or watching are sure interested in that. So thanks for being here with us last minute, man. Excited to dig into a little bit of your story and how, some more people can emulate what you've done so far.
Just to make it clear, Miles and I take full credit for those sales. 100% credit.
I think you both definitely have a portion, along with Danny and some of the the great people I've met on the Discord.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you've been listening to the podcast. Miles' first question.
Yeah, so
fill us into how you get started.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm even more curious, just how did you find everything in general? Because I assume, your life's probably, fairly different now, at least day-to-day operations, than it was just a few months ago. Now that you got this going, making some serious extra cash here on the side and maybe full-time aspirations, don't know anything like that. But tell us how you got started with everything.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm a big summer hobby, like spring, summer, fall hobby guy. Golf, like to go to the cabin, hang out on patios, things like that. And the summer, I was thinking, gosh, I really don't do a whole lot in the winter besides go to the gym, read, and sleep. So I really, wanted a hobby. And I don't know, big YouTube watcher, and somehow I stumbled upon one of your videos, Miles.
Bro, wow, okay. The algorithm taking care of us.
This looks super cool. And this was like beginning of August. I was like, all right, let's.
Do you remember what video specifically you got hit by?
No idea. I'm sure Miles wishes he knew.
Yeah, that'd be cool, definitely.
But yeah, so kind of just dug in, watched a few more videos, joined the Discord, since it was free, and really just took in a lot of the information, and then started hopping on the YouTube lives.
Yes.
And just kind of asking some questions, and probably after about 2 weeks of just taking in as much information as I could, I was like, all right,
time to get started.
Yep, time to get started. I'm going to start with $1,000 cash as like a proof of concept, and start scanning, go buy things. First thing I did was got ungated in Lego and Nike. I guess that's what all the cool
kids two did. Big categories. Yeah, definitely.
And just kind of went on from there.
Yeah.
Do you remember the first item you sold?
That was exactly what I was going to ask.
As far as like flipping and reselling, yeah, absolutely. I've had sales-based, corporate jobs in the past. So like, the basics of selling or sales isn't new to me, but like buying something.
No, on Amazon, your first item, do you know what it was?
I do. It was Lego roses. So
there it is.
I know the exact set you're talking about. Yeah, definitely. And so, yeah, that's interesting that one, you put a, decent amount of capital up front. Have you put anything more, like used any credit or anything like that? Because just mathematically, it seems like you probably have, but I'm just curious about that.
Yeah. After, I took the $1,000, spent that on inventory, and saw a majority of it sold within, 7 to 10 days. I was like, all right, this is legit. So let's leverage credit responsibly, and basically been leveraging credit for most of it.
And what I like about you, because, I've had the pleasure of seeing, the past couple months, we've been talking about stuff, is the way you were asking questions, like even at the start, made me assume you were already doing stuff. And I've tweeted this before, but I can tell, I've been doing this for a while. So for better or for worse, I can kind of tell if it's going to work for someone based off the questions they ask. Because like a bad question is, how do I get started, right? Although it's a necessary question, but something one can probably find on their own, right? A good question is, hey, I just sent this in, or I just did this amount of sales. Should I get a repricer? Like what number of sellers on a listing? They're like questions in the nuance. You know what I mean?
Or like asking us to check out a specific keeper graph,
Yeah.
those sort of questions where you're really starting to get into the nitty gritty.
Yeah.
You can tell a lot by the questions people ask. And we get questions in
Absolutely.
the DMs every single day. And some of them,
Yeah. So you've been doing mostly online and retail arbitrage, or specifically one of them?
It's been mainly online arbitrage, I would say.
That's even more impressive because it's so hard to get started just doing online arbitrage. Because at least for me, you don't. It's better when you can touch and feel stuff. You know what I mean? So that's impressive that you were OA right off the bat. What, in terms of how are you going about finding stuff?
I think I started how most people do, and a lot of the YouTube tutorials is tactical arbitrage, utilizing that. Definitely have found that utilizing TA, you're gonna find something awesome. Just the baseline way of using TA, you're going to find something, and then 40 other people are gonna hop on it, and then it tanks. So I've been really utilizing it differently by utilizing like Keepa, like based on sales rank and based on Amazon out of stock.
Product.
Yeah.
Ooh, all right, walk us through that, because that gets into the weeds that people don't normally see. That's like, that goes too deep that people won't make like YouTube. Like I haven't made a video about it or anything like that. I don't even think I know how to do it because it doesn't appeal to a ton of people, but that's where there's a lot of money. So give us the really broad overview of how that works.
Sure. So the broad overview is I'll pick whatever category. So I think like a lot of Amazon resellers for Q4 was toys. I looked at sales rank, 90-day and 30-day sales rank.
Yeah, and this is Keepa product finder. So almost no one, including myself till recently, knows what this is. So this is on the Keepa website. It's a whole new world of it that gives you like a whole layout of criteria you can search for products based on. So just to clear up some of the nuance. So you're given some of the categories classifications you're doing with that.
Yeah, so from there it'll allow you to filter based on various parameters. And one of them that I found very successful is the sales rank. So you can key in, kind of what you want your sales rank for the item to be. And then also extremely valuable is Amazon out of stock rate. So I was looking for stuff that Amazon was out of stock 50 to 100% of the time. And then reverse search, that exports into a nice ASIN list. And you can have 20,000 ASINs to look at. Or you can also download the full description and use it to manually source.
right.
Okay,
And
so
when did you start executing on that sort of strategy? That wasn't a first couple week thing.
I think not. Yeah.
It was after, I think it was Oliver Flip's episode because he briefly touched on it.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Not sure what that's probably like episode 8 or 12. It's our most viewed episode, so you guys should definitely listen to that one after this. But he talked a lot about some of those really, really specific sourcing methods.
And then I think the big thing is for me that I've had success with in sourcing is I find one winner and see what else that brand has to offer. I mean, obviously Nike has a lot, but like, let's say some smaller brands have 5 to 10 ASINs on Amazon. I have one that I'm making, say, 40% ROI. This brand has to have more. So just by looking up by that brand and finding how I can source those.
And is that something you're leveraging Smart Scout for, or is that just kind of doing reverse search?
Yeah, with something that doesn't have a ton of products. Have you thought about hitting up that brand to try to buy wholesale?
I have.
You were just going to keep succeeding. Like sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, I definitely attempted to. They're not accepting anymore for 2021.
Oh, okay. So you can follow up with them. Definitely.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting. So yeah, man, like I literally, I cannot say enough good about what you've done so far. I'm curious, do you have aspirations to do this full time, or like what has really inspired you to, attack this? So, or just type of dude you are, like what inspired you to go so hard after this so quickly?
Yeah, it's definitely the kind of person that I am. Just if you know anybody from Minnesota or upper Midwest, a bunch of hard workers, and really give everything their all. But as far as like aspirations, yeah, like I work a corporate job, probably 50 to 60 hours a week, and then nights and
Okay.
weekends are done doing this. So either I need to find a way to better leverage my time, outsource either some of the sourcing or prepping, or
Yep.
B, maybe, start to make enough to be able to replace that income fully.
Do you
Has
aspire?
that something? Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, do you want to do it full time? Like, do you think, obviously, you know that it's possible, but, not here to like tell anyone to do it. I'm just, curious.
I think I want about a year of experience under my belt.
Yeah.
Not to say it's like not possible. It's definitely possible.
Yeah.
But just to see all the ups and downs and swings and
Oh, yeah,
all that
definitely.
kind of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be smart to get a full cycle, right? See all the quarters through, see what happens. And again, obviously, we're operating in a kind of a special time, right? With
Right.
COVID and the new variant coming out. So this isn't necessarily norm. So it'd be cool to see some sort of, norm before you make that jump.
Right.
And even if you kept going the way you were, you'd obviously get way more efficient. Just you'll get better at finding stuff. You'll find replenishables that you can buy over and over again. Even if you only did what you're doing now, not to like discredit that, but that annualizes probably, 40 or 50K profit, which that's nice for nights and weekends. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely. And the greatest thing is a lot of it's fun to do too. Like
Yeah.
like sourcing Legos. Like, oh, I wish I could
Oh.
open this and put it together, even though I've never done that probably since I was 7 or 8.
Yeah. Have you noticed that your sourcing criteria, what you sort of look for in products, has changed over your first couple months?
Yeah.
Have you gotten more stringent? Have you gotten more specific in terms of, the sales rank you're looking for, the price points you're looking for? How has that changed and progressed as you have progressed?
Yeah. Velocity has a lot to do with it for me that I've noticed, because if I can sell 200 of one ASIN in a week for $2 profit, it's definitely something I'm taking advantage of. But my ROI was much lower at the start. It was, I think what a lot of people suggest, the 30%. So I was taking everything at 30%. And now that's definitely increased.
Oh, so you've raised it.
I've raised it, yeah.
Yeah, 30% is really low. Even just for your first few sales, if you're listening to this, I wouldn't worry about even making profit your first few sales. You just want that proof of concept of getting sales. That's interesting to hear that your criteria has actually gone up and everything. And that's cool. So what does your day-to-day look like? Where's most of your time in terms of just the Amazon stuff?
Sure. My day-to-day, I'm a morning person, so I get up about 4:30 every morning.
That's really that's very morning person.
That's very.
I'll work out from 4:30 to 6.
My man's getting it.
Yeah.
Your type hours.
And then while I'm eating breakfast, I'll do some sourcing in the morning before work. So usually about an hour of sourcing. Usually then is just, manual sourcing or loading up a bunch of reverse searches in TA so they're ready for the night. I have the luxury of working from home.
Oh, nice. So
So
yeah, there's actually
That's a game changer.
it is a game changer. So over my lunch, we'll either look at those TA sources or TA searches, or go out to the front door garage and see what I have for Amazon deliveries. And then off work, source, prep, ship. I try to get 3 shipments out a week to FBA.
Mhm.
Are you fully a one-man operation now? Do you have anyone helping you prep, or you just all you?
All me.
Yeah,
Love that. Love that.
that's like the beauty of the grind. You know what I mean? Like, dude, it's most people never make any money, and there's nothing wrong with not, but most people never make any money on their own. Like, did you ever have side hustles before, anything?
No.
Really?
It's something I've wanted ever since I graduated college. So I was like, oh, that looks super cool. It looks too scammy. Oh, that doesn't look legit.
Yeah, because
Okay,
I'm
that's-
curious. So you never went ahead and tried everything? Because, dude, it's rare to yeah, I deal with a lot of people who they're coming into Amazon because they failed at something else or something like that. So it's really impressive that you've started, I guess your first, real thing on the side here and already, making the type of money you are this quickly. It's very, very cool. It says a lot
Did you
about
make any mistakes starting out your first couple
Oh,
weeks? Did you make any big?
what mistakes did you make more
Because
specifically?
we all have a horror
Yeah,
story. Like
oh,
I
no,
have a massive
absolutely.
horror story. So let's hear it. What was your first big mistake that you made?
First big mistake that I made was purchasing something from Kohl's. I think I ordered like 10 of them as like a test buy, sent them in within probably an hour of them getting checked in. IP
I knew
complaint.
you were gonna say that.
Yeah.
Lesson learned there.
But I mean,
And
it
so
was
what
like
have
$100, you know.
and so what have you done to mitigate that moving forward?
I
Because that's
went
gonna happen to someone else.
Oh yeah, absolutely. IP alert
Uh-huh.
is a good one. Otherwise, really understanding the correlation of number of sellers and sales rank in Keepa.
My man's on it.
So on it. So yeah, guys, with Keepa, if you haven't looked at it too closely, there's like 3 charts, right? The first one is what we all look at with the price action. The second one, I can't remember what it is. The
Second
third
one's
one,
just sales rank.
yeah, the third one is the number of sellers, which is very important because you can see a correlation between the number of sellers and the price typically, right? If you look at pretty much any toy listing, December 5th, December 15th, December 10th, the number of sellers goes way down, and that's fairly correlated to typically the price going way up. So just, basic economics with the supply and demand, but that makes a lot of sense that if the number of sellers goes way down or is way down, that it's probably a brand that IP complains, and that's why other sellers are either staying away or clearly getting kicked off as well.
Yeah, I mean, to take that one step further, obviously Miles pointed out the sellers going down, but if that sales rank stays consistent or goes up or doesn't have a synonymous drop, then that's really when we start to question.
It's
That's
interesting.
good stuff, man.
Yeah, we're, this is basically, an episode more, catered around a beginner story, but we've gone deep into a lot of strategies. It's kind of deeper than, some people that, are putting up obviously, multiple million a year and everything, but this is serious actionable stuff people can go and literally take away from here right now as they're listening and go implement and make money with. So that's very cool. So yeah, you dove right in with $1,000 and here we are. Do you have like an inventory lab, profit calculation of what you're at so far for the year?
I do, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely something for anybody new as well. Get inventory lab right away. I did.
You weren't scared of spending money. Yeah. So what are you repricing yet?
I am not. Okay,
so that's probably something to get on. Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is because that does take probably a half an hour a day.
And you're making a lot I'm impressed you're getting the sales volume you are without repricing.
You were pricing a half an hour a day?
Sourcing good items.
And it's usually something laying in bed or, something like that.
Yeah.
So it's
yeah,
so
definitely get that set up.
So here's a question, Tyler. There is someone listening to this episode right now that either has not started, is kind of dipping their toe in. What would you say to that person that's itching to get started, that doesn't necessarily know if it's for them or aren't convinced yet by some of the stuff we put out? What would you say to them?
Just take,
because you were there, right? You were there a couple months ago.
Just don't have paralysis by overanalysis. Take action. Take whatever you want to invest for a proof of concept.
Mhm.
Whether that's $100, $250, $500. The only way, I forget what the quote is, but we learn to swim by swimming. We learn to walk by walking.
Right.
Oliver had a good one. Had a good one. He was like, you can't learn to fly he said something about flying a plane. But yeah, I mean, that's good stuff.
I think the other thing is meet some friends on the Discord or Instagram or Twitter. I have 2 people that I met on Twitter, or not on Twitter, on the Discord that we Zoom with every other Saturday.
Wow. Any names I would know, or like maybe we can speak at it? I hope I know them.
No, absolutely. John, Side Hustle.
Oh, no shit. Okay, cool. Also has been a guest. I don't know what episode, but great guy. He was getting into OA right as you are, so I'm sure you guys have been sharing some game about that. I want an invite to one of those Zoom calls. Why haven't I gotten an invite to one of those yet? I'm a little insulted there. I have to get in there. But yes, carry on.
And then the other one is Eli Happy Life on Discord.
Yes, I'm pretty sure I know him as well. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And he has
I definitely do. Yeah, I definitely do.
He has a sweet wholesale right off the bat story that he's
interesting. Okay, maybe we should have him on. Yeah, and how'd you get to know those guys?
Both Eli and Eli messaged me like when we were starting. He's like, "Hey, do you want to like be friends? I don't know anybody that does Amazon FBA."
Yeah, I mean, no one does in real life. Yeah. I mean, like you have to be in the community, and you obviously don't have, but it makes it so much easier. Oh my gosh, you know what I mean? And it's more fun too, you know, because you can't talk to like if you wanted to talk to one of your friends in real life about it, it'd be their head would be spinning, because they've never heard of it or whatever. And so let's actually transition to that part. Have you told like friends and family about it, or are you keeping it on the DL for now?
No, I definitely have. But it's also difficult to like converse about it because like I'm very like humble person, so it almost comes off as bragging. I just made $25,000 on Amazon, but I have shown two friends how to do it. They sat next to me on the computer. I showed them how to source, showed them Keepa, but they've yet to take action.
Yeah, and that's completely normal. Like, Danny's the only person, Danny and one other person from like my, real life circle, I guess you could say, that ever took action. And, clearly Danny, doing very well for himself because of it. But that's interesting. Yeah. And so you're referencing like the group, right? For example, like whether it's, our Discord or Instagram, Twitter, Facebook groups, wherever, like finding a group of guys, you can, bounce ideas off of, source together, look at different things. I'm sure you guys may or may not share product leads with each other, but that helps a lot too. It kind of multiplies your knowledge and accelerates, you learning stuff as you go. And that not only saves you time, but it makes you more money, and that, compounds and everything. So that's super powerful. Yeah, definitely. And what categories are you doing right now?
Mainly toys, beauty, a lot of beauty, and grocery, a little bit of grocery.
Nice. Yeah. So I like beauty and grocery, or no, I don't do a ton myself, or really any for that matter, but there's a lot of replenishability there. So there's a lot of value from finding those SKUs. And then I'm sure, you've either done this or planning to, but on all your winners, go check the other sellers on those listings, see what they're up to and everything, because they wouldn't be selling stuff if they weren't making money. Now, I'm mainly not even saying that to you because I know you know that, but the viewers out there, go check the other people on your listings, because they're not selling stuff, but they're not making money. These people are smart, especially if they have over 50 reviews, like they're making money, serious money. So go look at what they're selling as well. Definitely.
Do you have any interest in like wholesale or private label heading into 2022?
What I was gonna ask you. Good question.
With the one vendor
brand, yeah.
With the one brand I would just because it's a sub 10K ranked toy that just flies, and it's a small brand. Other than that, no. I really want a year and just see what the power of Amazon FBA, OA, and I mean there's natural RA in there too, is for like the full year. And then I would probably get into wholesale.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah. You see long term with this, definitely.
Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah, because I mean, dude, like 25 grand in profit, like and that's, I just assume based on the numbers, that's what it's around. But your first 4 months, like there's no reason you can't go make, 50 to 100K profit this, and that's, I mean, incredible. That's more than I made last year, so that's incredible that you're taking action that quick and you're continuing to see results. You're in the group chat with us now on Instagram, which is cool. A whole bunch of good guys and former and future guests on there too. And that's super valuable. And so let's pivot kind of to less talking more about, what you've been up to so far, but what, if anything, because to be frank, I don't know if I were in your shoes, if I would have done differently if I was going over again, but if there's anything, tips you have for beginners and all that.
Yeah, I do have one regret when I first, not even a regret, because I'm super comfortable with what I've done.
Absolutely.
But, for sure. Hindsight's always 2020. Would have been got ungated in more things when I started. So Disney, Star Wars, Hasbro, those ones going into Q4 definitely left a lot of money on the table.
And so you never experimented with books, right? You said you went straight into OA.
Straight into OA. Yep.
That's it. Yeah, that's the move. Have you spent much time in Q4 getting ungated in more things, or you just kind of focused on those couple brands that you were talking about?
Yeah, I haven't. Just a lot of a lot of things are auto ungating for me now, which is super awesome. I mean, not like big things, but definitely can tell I can sell a lot more. But no, with full-time job and then this, really concentration has been on spending money and getting it out the door.
Do you remember your first FBI shipment? Because I remember mine, and it wasn't pretty. It took a long.
I sealed it all up before I put everything in one box.
Yep.
Without even going into Seller Central. Go into Seller Central, and it's like, oh, you need the expiration date for these 4 items, and these 3 items are going someplace else. And yeah, it was definitely, not pretty, on the taped on labels.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do you have a nice label printer now?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's the best money you can spend once you're actually, rolling with stuff.
That was like a week 2 of sending shipments out. And then another, I guess this is not an L, but a funny story. So I got onto beginning of October, a big bolo, and drove around to all these different places and grabbed like 150 of these things. I get home, they're all sold before I get home, and I don't have any labels.
Oh, well, that's fine. Amazon Prime, you get those here the next day, you get those out. So that's an item you found. Was
it a home decor item, a decorational item?
No, I'll just say it was spicy.
Oh, so yeah. So that obviously, you guys can, pick out. I think I might even know what that item was, but yeah, that's cool. Definitely. So you're, I'm sure that's such an interesting change in your life from just, 6 months ago thinking driving around to a bunch of Walmarts or wherever to pick up some type of item, and they're all sold within, hours and everything.
Yeah, it was probably beginning of October. So I had been, barely, not even a month in. And I was like,
and that was probably like a, $1,000 profit in a day, or at least like 500.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was, but
it was definitely a good amount of money for a brand new business with that, definitely. And that's another thing. Yeah, for quick moving stuff, that's like my only recommendation for merchant fulfilling, pretty much. If something's moving quick, man, get it merch fulfilled and get on to finding the next item, or or if it's super cheap to ship and everything like that.
Speaking of that, what's your breakdown FBA merchant fulfilled? Are you all FBA, or do you have some sort of diversification?
I kind of listen to you. If it doesn't fit in a poly mailer, I don't mess with it. But some things I did, some Lego sets I did in December, because they weren't going to get to FBA in time.
Right.
So, I ordered a case of Uline boxes that would fit most Legos. And that's a game changer too for anybody that's listening. Order from Uline. Order like 3 or 4 different size boxes if you're gonna FBM, because it's so much easier than trying to go find or make a box from like Walmart or.
Yeah, and Walmart never has boxes either. It's always hard finding them from Walmart. Uline's, yeah, it's very cheap, affordable and everything, but also gets to you super quick, and that's huge. That you can get it shipped, because boxes are big. Trying to fit them in the car and everything, and driving around sucks. With all that, what are your outlook for 2022? Things you want to change, things you want to improve on?
Yeah, I think I definitely want to come down to the time versus money thing, because of basically working 2 full-time jobs. So I really want to figure out how to probably outsource some of the work, whether tackling my first VA or prep center, one of the 2 there. But yeah, would also like to I have what I want to spend every day, hit that, and then hopefully clear 500K in revenue.
And sales.
Heck yeah.
And that's, very, very, very doable for sure. And so that's interesting. That spend goal is going to compound too, because it gets easier to source over time as obviously you get better at it. And then, tenfold, you also have items you can reorder.
Yeah, it snowballs for sure. Mhm.
Yeah. Do you have replenishables? Like, are you buying stuff over and over again yet?
Yeah, I do.
Nice.
Which is awesome. I've definitely fallen into the world of jigging because.
Oh, my guy. Yeah.
Definitely had some canceled because everything was the same. Just changed the letter. They shipped.
There was a really funny meme I saw on Twitter the other day of it was like resellers something like getting orders canceled, and it was like Shaquille O'Neal behind a tree, and then it was like putting an extra I in their name, and it's super funny. Definitely. Do you have a catch-all setup?
I do not.
Oh, you'll have to get that set up because that like solves all of the problems with jigging, or at least a lot of them. Definitely.
You mentioned how you have obviously several hobbies that you like to do in the summer. How do you manage that, work time, being that you work from home and you do Amazon from home? Do you have some sort of, time manage? Like, is there a cutoff where you won't work past X time, or how do you manage, personal life of Tyler and your business and obviously your corporate job?
Yeah, definitely. During the week, Monday through Friday is really gym is like my personal time, and then corporate job, and then Amazon, and then I don't watch TV really except for like football is about it.
My man.
And then weekends I dedicate 4 hours in the morning to Amazon both days, and then the rest is family, friends,
Kicking it, yeah.
Yeah, so that seems like a good schedule, definitely. And the nice thing is you're like nicely blocking off stuff and everything. And I think you mentioned this earlier, a lot of the Amazon stuff doesn't really feel like work. You know what I mean?
No, I mean, you can be sitting, listening to the radio or reading a podcast or listening to a podcast.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. So I'm a big
Listening to
fan of, like,
Buy Box Bandits, yeah.
Yeah, definitely. There's this great podcast called Buy Box.
Yeah, I hear they have a good, yeah, I hear.
Good
Everybody
guess.
should subscribe to that.
Yeah, there's this host called Miles, man. He's a bozo, but I mean,
Everything.
the other two are pretty decent.
Yeah. Oh, I think I just got another review. Yeah, definitely. And I think I mentioned I'd probably tweet in like August or September, like now's the best time to get in and start of it. Like you can really find momentum that can really, change your life and everything. You're living proof of that, which is amazing. And so, a year from now, do you think you'll be full time? Do you think you'll be, doing wholesale and everything? Do you think you'll still be attacking OA and everything?
If I had to bet on it, I think it would be full time.
Oh, amazing, man. That, and once again, doing part-time is fucking awesome too. You know what I mean? Like there's room for it and money for everyone in this and everything, but very cool. And I just see, based on the way you've operated so far, that if you're going to have the option, if you want to, I would assume, which is amazing. Definitely. And so for the person out there who hasn't started or who has their Amazon account, they've gotten a few sales, but they haven't really broken out, right? What are the action tips you think they can take or that they should take to really see some success quickly?
I think take in all of the knowledge. If you've already set up your account, I think you've already done 90% of what you need to do to get started. I see a lot of things like on Discord. I went to Walmart for a half an hour and didn't find anything. Go to Walmart and scan the entire store if that's
and
if you really want it to work.
Yeah, and one Walmart's such a small sample size too. You know what I mean? Like obviously sourcing online is a lot harder, but it's also a way, it's infinitely larger of a catalog to choose from. So you're bound to find something eventually, and it's just easier proof of concept that isn't, oh, that sucks that you had to drive 20 minutes to somewhere and struck out when sure, you're sitting somewhere for a few hours.
You just have so much more data online too. You can see all the competitive sellers. You can do your full analysis without feeling the pressure of someone looking over your shoulder, watching people walk by you and kind of judging you. And there's so much more data to take in online.
But I think for a lot of people that are getting started, I think a lot of people think it's a get rich quick scheme. It is, Amazon. If you two know, a lot of people know it's not. It's a lot of hard work. But I think if you're willing to put in the work, you'll reap the rewards. But you have to be able to put in the work.
Absolutely.
Well said.
Studying, learning, reading graph after graph after graph, networking, meeting people, and just diving full in.
Yeah, I like that point you made that getting your seller account open is, like 90% or whatever I'd also say even just getting your first shipment out, you know what I mean? Getting a couple sales through, because there's a lot of the stuff in there it's confusing at the start, but you only have to learn it once. I've said this in a few episodes, but creating a shipment, very confusing the first time, listing a product, confusing, all that, dealing with fulfillment center transfers, check-in times, all that, are these talking heads on the internet actually serious? But once you get it figured out, just rinsing and repeating, you know what I mean? It's just, spending more money, acquiring knowledge and everything, and, it ends up putting more money in your pocket. So thanks for coming on, man. We really appreciate it on short notice. Unfortunately, Danny didn't join us tonight, but he'll be back for the next one. Hopefully for the year in review episode, actually the last episode of the year, of the inaugural year of the Buy Box Bandits. So Tyler, Garrett, thanks for being with us tonight. Where can everyone find you on socials?
MN Holla.
Yep.
HOLLA. I ain't no holler back girl.
Yes, sir. And you're also, very active in the Discord as well. So I'm sure, people, you'll see them in there and everything. So you guys can go, ask any questions and everything. But yeah, just clearly, very inspiring story. We really appreciate you taking so much action and sharing it with us as well. It's very valuable stuff, man. So we'll see you guys in the next one. And thank you all for listening.
Thanks, Tyler.